Hello and welcome to a new episode of NABA Meets Alumni. I am very, very happy to have Windy Huang here with me.
Thank you.
Windy, welcome.
Thank you. So I'm Windy from Indonesia, and then I took the Master of Creative Advertising here in NABA.
That's fantastic. So welcome here, and we're going to have a little conversation about your experience, who you are, how NABA helped you, and what you're working on right now, maybe even more things, but we'll see what happens. Okay? So let's start from the past. The question I always ask is, did you grow up in a creative family?
Okay. I could say yes and no at the same time.
You can say it.
Yeah. No, because it's not directly from my parents, like they are not working in the creative or design industry. But at the same time, I could say yes, because creative is really wide. It's like ability to create something, no? So my father is an engineer, so I think he is creative to make the building. And my mom creative to make the economic or accounting. And then at the same time, from my maternal family, my grandma was a fashion designer at that era. So maybe all of this, the blood of the creative is go through me and both my younger sisters. So
you know, there's a theory. It's a small theory, and it's not. I don't think it is respected theory, but that creativity sometimes jumps a generation.
Yes.
So you can actually say that it jumped a generation, but I love the fact that you said that your father is an engineer and your mom is in accounting, but there needs to be creativity even in jobs that are not generally considered creative.
Exactly.
So I think that's very interesting. So you grew up in a family like that, and you were in Indonesia until you came here, right?
Yes.
You have always lived there.
Yes,
right?
I always live in Indonesia.
And did you know you wanted to not live in Indonesia, to go to your studies somewhere else? Did you look to go abroad?
Actually, yes, because after like 1 or 2 years, I finished my bachelor. I feel like I want to know more. I want to know more culture. I want to understand more design style from all the world. So yes, I start to looking for several university to give the scholarship. Ask some friends that already studied abroad, like, oh, how do you feel here or there? And then I applied in NABA for the scholarship program. And then after several weeks, I got the email like, oh, congratulations, you got the scholarship in NABA. So I said, okay, let's pack the bag and go.
And you left.
Yes.
At that time, did you know what you wanted to do in life? Do you know what you want to do in life?
It's very hard. So basically, yes, from the little, I always think that, okay, I really like design world. Even when I was little, I cut my mom bed because I said, okay, this is a cute pattern. I could make this the pattern in my collection. And then grow up, and then I start to feel, yes, I love to work in the design industry. But specifically before, I'm not so sure yet. But after I took the NABA creative advertising, then I said, okay, this is my passion.
Nice. So NABA actually helped you kind of decide. Tell me how you got here. You got here not knowing Italian, right? I would guess. And how was your experience here? I mean, what did you like about being here, and what did you learn by coming here?
Okay, so before come here, I don't know any single word of Italian. So the first thing is, okay, ciao.
Which is 2 words.
Yes, ciao, everywhere. And then after I start to learn like Italian, they are very, very friendly. So I have a lot of friends. I have like even the grandma that when we are waiting the subway, we start to talk, even if sometimes they don't understand what are you talking about, but it's just continue. And then I like that here a lot culture. Even when you are walking in the sideway, you see the culture, you see the design. So I really love to stay here. And then.
So you want to live in the world of creating beautiful things, right?
Yes.
And beautiful things are part of what Italian culture has always been about. Not that other cultures don't have it, but you said it.
Yes,
You said
yes.
that when you walk around the city, you're like, wow, any city really. So we will get back to NABA for a second, but after a second, but right now you work at OPPO, right?
Yes.
Which means that you actually stayed in Italy, right? Do you think, first of all, NABA helped you get the job that you have at such an important multinational, like technological company, number one? And number two, do you think that being a foreigner in Italy has helped you become a better creative? Difficult,
okay. Very difficult. Okay, so first, yes, NABA very helpful because every time we have the interview or we talk with someone, I come from NABA, I graduate from NABA. They will say, oh, wow, what a famous, so I think everyone know who is NABA. So yes, it's very helpful. And then the second, for like living here in Italy, helped me to build myself, yes. And then also before I start to thinking that, okay, I'm going to stay here in Italy to try to work, I remember very good that in the interview with the creative director, he asked me, do you speak Italian? And I said, sorry, no, but I'm willing to learn. And then he answered me, I'm sorry to say this to you, but don't have the hope to work here in Italy if you don't speak any Italian. And then at that time, it's making me motivated. It's not making me down or something, but I'm getting more, okay, I'm going to prove to you that one day I'm going to stay here in Italy.
And learn Italian.
Yes, and learn Italian. So at that time, yes, after...
But I think Italy has changed a lot.
Yes.
Also, and you're lucky to be here at this time.
Yes.
And there are a lot of multinational companies that allow you to speak English all the time, or maybe another language is not necessarily your everyday language that you speak to the grandma in the train station, right?
Correct.
So it's very interesting to me that a lot of the students that are here, the graduate, can actually stay here in Italy, or take a step here before they live the world, right? So let me ask you a question. What do you work on specifically at OPPO right now? What are you responsible for, or what have you worked on that you actually really enjoyed and that you obviously can talk about, because some things are not? I know that there are a couple of things that are out that are yours or that you worked on. So tell me more about it.
Okay, so I'm a designer, especially in the ATL. So I'm kind of leading several co-workers and the team in the company. At the same time, I also need to talk with our HQ, headquarters in China. And then at the same time, I need to talk with our hub in German. And at the same time, again, I need to talk with the local Italian. So I'm in the middle. We are in the middle. We need to satisfy the global guideline to say with OPPO, we need to always have the same feeling, the same cover. And then we need also to talk with the German at the same time that we are in the standard of European countries. Of course. And then later we need to satisfy, and then we need to be different. We need to be, very creative to talk with the local Italian. Because many times, like, Italian don't know who is OPPO, what is OPPO. So we need to push more. And then another thing that is very challenging to work in OPPO is because it's not a multi-brand like the agency. We are working mostly in the smartphone and then wearable like watch or band. So always every day you communicate the same thing again and again. And then you need to be creative, to be not boring, to not communicate the same thing to everyone the same again. And then
for yourself too. I mean, for you as a creative inside the company, you need to not think that you're always doing the same thing. Because you have so many guidelines, but those guidelines need to be, the word global and local, right? Global, right? There is a word that they use in advertising, and it's interesting that it is actually a perfectly local brand, right?
Exactly.
You need to follow brand guidelines, but you need to specify it to the Italian market, right? And when you specify it to the Italian market, you need to get into the Italian culture to speak the OPPO language in the Italian way, right?
Yes.
Is that how it is?
Yes. Like for example, one of my project with Elodie.
The singer.
Yes, she is the very famous singer here in Italy. So we are like making her our brand ambassador to talk with the Italian. But at the same time, of course, we need to make the same or the similar level of our global, which is famous as like a very positive person, a very very kind person, because we cannot just choose, okay, I want to choose A for become my ambassador, no, because we need also to follow the guideline, no?
The ambassador is also the person that needs to have inside, in this case, Elodie, so inside her, the values of the brand, right? So she can't be a negative or not even negative. She can't be wrong for the brand, right? So where does your I know that the choice of Elodie was not only yours, but what does the inspiration come from to have you decide certain things and change certain things and keep you going with this brand value in different ways every time you're doing a different job?
Because in OPPO, we have the brand DNA, we call it. It's with useful, design, and then like technology for future. But at the same time, we are still like human. So we are not robot. We are not machine that work.
Nice.
So the reason of we choose the Elodie, because first, she's the creative person, very human. We can see like her life, her social life. And then it's a very also art, like a very brand DNA of OPPO. So,
and she has talent,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
Because you also base a lot of things on talent, right? The talent that you use the technology for also, right? So it's very interesting. And then can you speak about the other project that you worked on?
Okay, it's more challenging because we are working with a partnership with the football AC Milan. So this is why another reason we call it the global.
Yes.
Because it's global, but at the same time Italian.
Local,
soccer,
exactly.
football. So we choose the AC Milan to be our like partnership that of course we combine both brand. And then this is another challenging problem because already we need to talk with our HQ, our German, and then now we need to talk with partnership with AC Milan. So we have like stack of the guideline we need to follow. We need to.
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing for creativity?
It's a very good thing because if you are stuck in one guideline, you already like out of your mind. Like I already know the color. It's always. But when you find another kind of partnership, you have another guideline you need to follow.
That you have to intersect.
Yes.
No?
And then we need to join it. We need to make the how to say mutualism to each other. So it's
which is interesting, right? Because it becomes more creative in the way you actually do.
Exactly. And then, of course, it's challenging because...
It's kind of like the engineering that your dad did, right?
Yes. Yeah. And then it's like very, how to say, interesting because usually I said like, okay, smartphone, still life in the studio. And then suddenly now I need to work with the AC Milan. Oh, we need to run in the campo together with the player. So it's a very, very like interesting experience.
Do you think, and this is a very personal question that I'm asking, do you think the idea that we live in a world in which there are many screens on which you can see the work that you do makes you more creative to actually be ready for all of those screens? So you don't have Elodie only on a print ad or on a billboard, you also have her doing other things, right, in different screens, because you will actually have your ambassadors live through social or TV. I don't know what the but do you think that is an interesting thing to actually make content for different places?
Yes, actually, yes, because it's like 360 degrees. We need to cover everything. Of course, we have the team, which is not only me. But it's very, like what you said, it's very challenging because like even the format is different. Or sometimes even the billboard, one is vertical, one is horizontal. We need to adapting. And then of course the communication when you talk in the billboard, it's when the people pass, you need to understand what's this. You don't have time. And then at the same time, when you are also going to the spot in TV, it's only 30 seconds or sometimes 50 seconds. So we need to combine how to make the same communication, the same message, the same OPPO to talk with everyone between the different platforms.
That is very interesting the way you said it, because it shows that you've learned a lot. I've been working in advertising for many years, and there are people in advertising that have worked as many years as me and that have not been able to explain it with one sentence like you have. So that's my compliment to you.
Thank you.
How much do you think NABA helped you on this?
It's very a lot. I could say very a lot, because we are always like in the group with many students, many classmates from the different culture, different countries. So in this part, we understand how is the local Italian mind, how is the Chinese people mind, and then Canadian, Turkish, blah, blah, and then we need to combine it. So it's a very global, because like for example, before I studied here in NABA, okay, what I know is only my mind, my Indonesian culture, and then my style. Stop. But when I arrived in NABA, it's really open. Like my eyes, my everything is really open. Like, okay, so this one, you have this kind of culture. Do you have this kind of style? Oh, you cannot speak that one because that one in my culture is not good. Or, oh, you can speak like this one. What's the problem? So we really not only understand from each other, but also from our professor, which is they push us to like, okay, what's the insight? What's the insight? What's the idea in the very limited time?
Which is what you don't have.
But now we start to understand, okay, the more it's limited, maybe the more we have the ideas, because we push ourselves to always think, and then it's very challenging.
And NABA taught you this, right?
Yes.
Because you didn't know anything about pressure,
No.
right?
No.
And politics,
yes.
right? Because there's politics in the work that we do. So creativity and politics, a lot of the time, because you're not just an artist, that works on your own in your room. You're working for other people, towards other people's communication. Like blah blah blah. So it's actually very interesting to me. So let me ask you a question about the future. When you look at yourself, difficult question.
Yes.
Since you've done in 4 years so much, but when you look at yourself in the world of 5 years from now, where do you see yourself, and how do you see yourself?
Where? I could see I'm still here in Italy because I'm married with Italian. Okay.
That's probably a reason. Yes.
Yes, and then of course I would love, not would love, seeing me higher in the position, maybe a creative director, maybe like a art director, something like that, because I feel like in myself, okay, not only from the knowledge that I get from the university, but also from the people that I talk, from the clients, the partnership, everything. So I'm pretty sure like after 5 years, I could become the creative director. Why not?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you have the ingredients to actually do that. So, Windy, I think we're done. Was it difficult?
No. Very easy.
Was it fun?
Yes, super fun.
I'm glad you had fun. Thank you very much for
Thanks to you too.
coming and talking to me.
Yes.
And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And I'll hope to see you soon.
Okay, you soon.
Thank you, Windy.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.